Working with all the application windows on your Mac doesn't seem like an issue or a problem, but most Mac apps don't open and fill your whole screen, so they waste a lot of space. Or you might have the opposite problem. You might be on an iMac with a huge screen and your app takes up way too much space and you need to size the window down. It doesn't seem like much, and if you didn't know there was a better way, it would just be your normal. But that's where a window management app comes in. A window management app makes it fast to resize different windows and put them in different arrangements. That's what Mosaic is. Mosaic is a part of your Setapp subscription, and this app manages all of your windows. Now, normally this app costs $12.33, give or take a few cents because of the exchange rate. But it's so useful that I would gladly pay twice that much for what this does for me and the amount of time that it saves me. So what am I talking about? I'm going to give you a test. Okay, here's the test. Time yourself doing this task. Open the Notes app and move it to the right side of the screen and make it fill up half of your screen. Then open a Safari window, or I've got one already open here. Move that to the left side of your screen and make that fill the rest of your screen. How fast can you do that? And how accurate would you be at getting this all set up? Now, I'm pretty fast, so I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to open the Notes app. I'm going to move it onto one half of the screen, and then I'm going to resize it. Now, all of this is not taking up a lot of time, but it requires a lot of precision. Okay, and here I'm going to move my Safari window there, and I'm going to resize this one, and it'll actually snap into place when you move it next to another window. So that didn't take too much time, but it did take a lot of precision and fine movements. So now let's install Mosaic and see how fast we can do this with a window management app. Okay, so we're in the Setapp app, and I'm going to click up here in the search box and type Mosaic. And I'm just going to click this arrow install, and it's going to download for me. Okay, now that Mosaic has installed, it opens up these windows for me, and I've got a few things to look at. So first off, in the top right corner, Mosaic is asking if it's allowed to give us notifications. I'm going to click Allow. Next, you can see we have a health check. And actually, because I've installed this program before, accessibility has been checked off. If you are receiving a red triangle, just like input monitoring has this red warning triangle, you can follow these steps to enable it. I'm going to click the Fix button here. And this is going to show me a little video on how to do this, but I'll just talk you through it. Okay, I'm going to click down here to Open Input Monitoring, and it's going to open up System Preferences. You can see that it's all grayed out, and that means I need to click on the lock to make changes. Okay, it's asking me to approve this with an Apple Watch or my password. You might have Touch ID or a password. What you need to do is enter your password, and this becomes colored, and we can just check the box. Now, we also need to restart Mosaic before this change will take place. So I'm just going to click Later. Just to double check accessibility, I'm going to click here, and Mosaic is checked. Okay, I'm going to close this System Preference window and come back here to Mosaic, and I'm going to click Done. A third option here is that Mosaic can record your screen. I don't tend to use this feature, so I've checked Ignore Warnings for screen recording, and the last thing I have to do is click here to restart Mosaic. I've restarted Mosaic, and the icon appears here, and everything is looking good, so we can begin to use Mosaic. Now, do you remember my challenge was to start Notes, move that to the right side of your screen, and then open up a Safari window and then move that to the left side of your screen. So here's how we would do it with Mosaic. I'm going to start the Notes app, and as soon as I click and drag, I'm going to get this pop-up that appears on the top of my screen, and I just have to drag it and drop it on one of these items. So if I wanted to make this app full screen, I could drop it here. See that, full screen. If I wanted to kind of center it in the window, I could do that. But I've asked you to drop it here on the right. So as soon as I let go, Mosaic moves the window over. Similarly, I'm going to start a Safari window, and as soon as I start dragging it, the pop-up comes up and I can drop it there. Now you'll notice that I have this gutter around the windows, and I personally don't like that. So I'm going to remove those gutters by clicking on Mosaic and going to Preferences, and the default gutter here of 32 pixels, I'm going to change this to be 0, and I'm just going to close that. So now if I drag this and put it on the right, there's no space there, and that's how I like my window, because I want to use up as much of the screen real estate as I can. Okay, so that was pretty fast to arrange windows like that. It would be even faster if I assigned a keyboard shortcut. So let me show you how to create keyboard shortcuts here in Mosaic. So I'm going to click on Mosaic again and go back to Preferences. I'm going to go to Layouts. And here you can see all the layouts that you just saw in the pop-up. So I'm going to click here on the right, and it says keyboard shortcut. I'm going to click record shortcut and then put in a keyboard shortcut. So for me, I like the shortcut Control Option Command right arrow. So that's going to be my shortcut for the right side of the screen. And for the left side of the screen, let me click on that. I'm going to record the shortcut Control Option Command left arrow. So now let me close this. Now whenever I've got let me move these windows a little bit. So whenever I have a window selected, I don't have to be dragging it or doing anything. I can just push the keyboard shortcut Control Option Command left arrow and move that window there. And I just click on the Notes app and push my keyboard shortcut, and it moves it there. Mosaic has some other features, but with these basic features, you can see how quickly you can resize and move windows around. Honestly, once you have an app like this installed on your computer, you'll never want to go back. Can you see why it's worth spending $12 for this app and why I would pay $20, $30 for it? It saves me so much time as I'm rearranging my windows and doing different things on my computer. So I hope you enjoy using Mosaic as part of your Setapp subscription.